We are now in our 160-pound matchup between Zachary Navarrete, a senior from Montville, and Braden Grimm, a junior from Ledyard. And that Grimm name is a familiar name for those who follow wrestling here in the ECC.
His brother Colin, and probably around 2010, was a state open champ at about 160 to 180. So it's following in his footsteps here. He's in finals of a wrestling match.
Grimm will be in green, and Navarrete will be in red as far as the scoreboard is concerned. And right now the two are content. Now you're starting to see the big bodies coming.
Yeah, they're going to get bigger and bigger each weight class goes up. But after 285, they're going to get smaller.
That's right. Then we're going to go down to the Hummingbirds.
So now you know I'm a colonel.
I do know that.
Did you know that?
I do.
It's
Of course
my
I
alma
do.
mater out here. My wrestling coach still the wrestling guru of southeastern Connecticut here. Steve Billheimer continues to put championships up on the board. Ledyard Wrestling has the state record of 21, I believe, state wrestling titles. And that's an amazing feat.
And they sit currently third in the overall standings right now, team points. Killingly on top, and Killingly the favorites today, especially with their group of finalists that they have, 5 of them today. Waterford right on their heels though at 187.
They're nipping at their heels, and don't count them out just yet. You know, this is wrestling. Anything can happen, and that's what makes it exciting. And
Ledyard certainly could benefit from a Grimm win right now.
Absolutely.
If he doesn't win, he'll be Grimm as well, but for a whole different reason. We, of course, have circled the 113 matchup between Logan Smith of Waterford and Mike Sharon of Killingly as not only perhaps the premier match of the day, but maybe the match that decides one way or the other the team competition.
Yeah, that's a head-to-head matchup between first and second, and that's going to matter here when we're tallying up the team scores.
Beautiful quickness by Navarrete that time, but he couldn't quite make heads of it, but he's got an early 2-0 lead here on Grimm. Navarrete seems to be very, very quick, able to kind of counterbalance what Grimm has tried to do thus far. Grimm will try to work out here, work out an escape.
He's working for an escape right now, though, and he's got it. 2-1.
There's that quickness now. Navarrete trying to get underneath. You know, he's trying to get that head under.
He's pushing on that neck. You control the head. You can basically control the rest of the body. As any good coach will tell you.
If you could have a kid with strength, quickness, or precision, what would you choose? A kid that was technically precise, a kid that was just strong as an ox, or a kid that was quick as lightning? And you could only have one of those.
I think I would
things.
want to take speed. I think speed.
Hard to
precision. I don't know if precision's.
Can you be
as
technically
important.
sound enough to out-wrestle someone who's faster than you or stronger than you?
Absolutely, 100%. And stronger, faster. Yes, technique wins at the end of the day, but
you'd like that quickness if you can have it. We're going to get a delay as we're going to I think we have a little nosebleed action now. Now of course, nosebleeds made famous by the great wrestling movie Vision Quest, when Loudon Swain was a bleeder in his match versus Shoot. But how often in a wrestling match do we see blood?
Very often. And wrestling is the only sport with what's going on right now, and it's called blood time. It's the only sport. You get 5 minutes to clean up the blood, and if you have a bloody nose that is just gushing blood and it's not cleaned up in the 5 minutes, the match is over.
Now, what are they allowed to do? Are they allowed to jam Kleenex up there? And
they usually not Kleenex. I think they usually use Tampax for the most part. Pretty absorbent, to be honest with you.
Now, because you gotta do whatever you can to get this bleeding stopped.
Yes.
So right now, Braden Grimm down 2-1 with 2 minutes remaining here in the second period. He's got to get his blood.
Shoving cotton up his nose, trying to stop the bleeding, and they're falling out. And he's continuing to bleed. So they're going to try their best to get him cleaned up here. You got certain kids who they get hit on the nose and they won't stop bleeding.
No, I mean, if you get hit the right way, your nose is it's just going to bleed and relentlessly. So Casey O'Neill along with CJ Saddy, we're here at Fitch High School for the ECC Wrestling Championships. We are in blood time right now as Braden Grimm, a junior from Ledyard, has a bloody nose, and Zachary Navarrete of Montville is stalking him out there, but it looks like we're going to resume. Is there an advantage here one way or the other you've had to have been on the mat with guys bleeding. You've been bleeding.
Well,
What does it change?
I was going to say that maybe that it slowed the pace down for Navarrete here, but as you see with that explosive escape just now, it didn't slow his pace down at all. While he was stalking, that was his energy. He was ready to go. He wants to attack, and the blood time kind of stopped him. And maybe that even made him a little upset. I want to wrestle. Stop bleeding and get over here so I can take you.
Well, Grim's tissue just came out, and I think he's still bleeding.
He's got another takedown.
So now he's up 5-1, and we're going to see another stoppage because he's still bleeding.
All right, we're back on that blood time. And that 5 minutes I spoke about before, that's a continuous time. So last time it took a minute or two, he's only got 3 minutes left now.
So he gets 5 total minutes of
Correct.
blood time. And someone's going to come out and take this bloody tissue off. Thank you very much. All right.
That's Coach Alan Quibble, former Ledyard Colonel standout, amazing wrestler. And he's an assistant coach under Steve Billheimer, as mentioned. Steve Billheimer probably has up to 10 championships in his 15 years coaching. Alan might be seated to take over the illustrious Ledyard Colonel's wrestling program.
Things not looking good for Grim right now because he is bleeding heavily, as you can see right now. And already had his 1 blood stoppage, got back out there, immediately started bleeding again. So.
And this can, not that I don't believe Montville's in the running for team score, but I know Ledyard is being in third. This match here, they're about to give a forfeit up. If this blood time if they can't get this blood to stop, it's going to be a forfeit, and that's the same amount of points as a pin. Now they're going old school. They said, we're running out of time, we're taping it up. This is a famous wrestling move.
All right, I'm sorry. I want to go on record right now as saying in the years that I have been doing broadcasting, this is as cool a thing as I've ever witnessed live. They just Hannibal Lectered this kid's face to make sure they could get him back onto the mat. They're in the world of where 1 drop of blood sends people screaming into the stands and we stop 2 hours. This kid is taped up while he's bleeding so he can finish wrestling.
This is what sets wrestlers apart from the rest of the world.
You guys win. As of right now, you officially win, CJ. No argument here.
Oh man, beautiful, nice scramble roll. That was something.
5-2, Navarrete on top. Grim now, though.
Got to figure the blood in the nose and the tape around the nose affects your breathing, too.
Absolutely. You got to think you lose your wind here faster than you would if you could breathe.
He's still pushing the pace, though. He's coming at this kid. He's looking to score. He knows that he's down, and he needs to score points. That's good. That's good wrestling. A lot of guys, they just stand around. I'm wondering, you better get to work, man. You gotta put some points up on the board.
Now Navarrete, who has been the aggressor here in the early going, seems a little bit more comfortable right now, milking some time.
Yeah, he's sitting on that lead. I don't blame him. He doesn't have to do anything big right now. The Ledyard wrestler's going to need to.
Grim, 30 seconds remaining here in the period. Grim's going to need to do something.
He's been doing something. I don't know. The refs here, they're starting to look at each other. They're wondering, they're going to hit this Montville kid for stalling.
Oh, there's a nice
Oh, they're not going to hit him after that. No
Oh,
takedown yet, though. No takedown yet. Oh, but he's going to get it. Oh, get that hit behind.
Right, it's got to clear that arm, get
It's
that hip
still,
around.
no, nothing yet. No takedown. No control. No control. Absolutely no control. The refs are calling it.
Beautiful job by Grim.
That was something else. That really was.
Navarrete with a lightning quick double leg, and he had a chance at a takedown, but brilliant job by Grim. And he'll ride out this second period still in it, down only 5-2.
Great job by Grim using the out of bounds there to get himself out of trouble. It's part of the tactics here in wrestling. It's a chess match.
Navarrete will have top position, see if Grim can effectuate an escape. He's up on his feet quickly. Had one earlier where Navarrete just allowed him to go. This time Navarrete's not letting him go so easily.
Almost a locked hands call on Navarrete there. The refs are looking for it.
One of our officials almost took himself down.
No, now they're hitting stall on red. All right, now we have a 1-point escape here, putting the match at 5-3.
So Grim just needs a takedown here to tie the match
up. And he looks like he wants it. He's got a minute and a half. Oh, they already gave I don't know what that one's for. If that's the push-out rule?
Yes.
They're calling push-out rule in high school wrestling now? Or if that was for stalling.
I think that was for stalling.
That was the second stalling call. Wow.
So now 1 point away, believe it or not, hard to believe, but Grim
Grim's
only
closing it.
minutes ago it looked like might, not even be able to wrestle because of the bloody nose, is a point away from tying this match up.
I'm glad to see the refs are calling that stalling quick, though, because we don't want people stalling out here. We want them wrestling. And, a kid gets a 2 or 3 point advantage, he can just sit on it. No control. No control. The refs know it. The coaches want their call, but you got to have control. I get a little excited. Sorry for yelling into the microphone.
No. That's why you're here. That's all right. When we have Mike tomorrow next to us, we yell at him, no control all the time.
He's out of control.
Oh, Grim went for a shot and missed it. He missed
There's
it.
your takedown.
Grim went for the leg, went to shoot the leg, missed it, and Navarrete was able to get behind him for the takedown, and a 7-4 lead with 35 seconds remaining. There's an escape. Down to 7-5. Grim immediately goes
Grim's
for the
going
leg.
at him. He's still in that. If he gets that takedown, he can tie it up.
Only 30 seconds here remaining in the match.
A little another thing, because he already got a stalling call, I believe the next one might be 2 points. I could be wrong. That might be the third one.
So Grim tied up with Navarrete in the middle. Needs a takedown here. Navarrete knows
Going
it.
for a headlock.
He misses it though, and that's going to
slip.
result, and that's going to probably end it right there.
That's probably the match.
Down 2, he had to go for it, missed it. That's twice he missed his takedowns. And with 5 seconds remaining here, we are going to see Zachary Navarrete of Montville is going to cruise on to a 9-5 win. The senior will end his senior year with an ECC championship. Braden Grimm, the junior, the sports doctor's down on the mat. He's got our 160 winner.
160-pound champion, Zachary Navarrete. Listen, when you see a little blood out there in your opponent, you gain a mental advantage.
I feel like I do because I know like when people are bleeding, they start to feel tired and they just want to get the match over with. So I know at that point I got the mental edge on them and I can start attacking and getting takedowns because I know that they're not going to sprawl as well because they're afraid they're going to bleed more, and it's better to be mentally there.
Feels good going out in style.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it does.
Casey?